Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the English Daily Book Summary YouTube channel. In order to not stop learning, listen to an English book summary every day for free.
Carla McLaren, The Language of Emotions. What your feelings are trying to tell you. Remember the last time someone made you really angry? Maybe you felt your heart pounding, your jaw clenching, or the red flush of rage rising from your chest. In moments like these, you might wonder why emotions feel so overwhelming, why they seem to hijack your best intentions and color your whole world. Instead of viewing strong emotion as the enemy, consider another perspective. What if anger, fear, sadness, and even shame are actually carrying important messages you need to hear? Learning to work with your feelings rather than against them can transform your relationships, your work life, and your understanding of yourself. So get ready to discover what your emotions are really trying to tell you and how to harness your emotional intelligence to connect more authentically with others. The Inner Compass. Your emotions are far more than just feelings that wash over you. They're a complex internal navigation system, constantly gathering vital information about your environment, your relationship, and your deepest needs. This emotional intelligence works alongside your rational mind in daily life, helping you make better decisions and forge stronger connections with others. When you feel joy, it's highlighting what truly matters to you. When you experience anxiety about a relationship, it's alerting you to examine your needs and boundaries. Even seemingly difficult emotions serve essential purposes. Sadness helps you process loss and change, while anger alerts you to violations and injustice. Denying these emotions doesn't make them disappear. It only pushes them deeper, where they can affect your health, relationships, and decision-making in unconscious ways. When you label certain feelings as negative and try to push them away, you're ignoring crucial messages about your well-being. It's like disconnecting the warning lights in your car. You might feel less anxious in the moment, but you're missing vital signals about what needs attention. Ultimately, there's a breakdown. Your emotional system is actively supporting you throughout each day, often in ways you might not recognize. It influences your body language, tone of voice, and subtle reactions that shape how others respond to you. This awareness helps you build trust, resolve conflicts, and deepen connections with those around you. So understanding your own emotional health and well-being transforms your outsides as powerfully as your insides. For example, Aisha noticed her heart was racing whenever her partner dismissed her concerns about their future. By paying attention to this emotional signal instead of suppressing it, she initiated an honest conversation. Communicating her feelings strengthened their relationship. And when Marcus felt unexpected anger during his sister's celebration, he allowed himself to explore this emotion rather than pushing it away. Exploring his feelings, he recognized unresolved feelings about family dynamics that were affecting him deeply. Only by recognizing this could he take steps to heal old wounds. In other words, your emotions aren't random disruptions. They're sophisticated messengers delivering precise information about your needs, boundaries, and values. Learning to work with them rather than against them opens the door to deeper self-awareness and more authentic connections with others. The Emotional Toolbox. While emotions seem to be about your brain, developing your own emotional intelligence actually begins with your body. That's because each feeling creates distinct physical sensations. Anger might show up as heat in your chest, anxiety as butterflies in your stomach, sadness as heaviness in your shoulders. By tuning into these physical signals, you can catch emotions early before they become overwhelming. To begin tuning in, start by taking a moment to ground yourself. Plant your feet firmly on the floor, take 3 deep breaths, and scan your body from head to toe. Notice any areas of tension, any temperature changes, or subtle movement. These physical clues help you identify what you're feeling, even when emotions seem tangled or confusing. Creating a calm environment supports emotional awareness, too. When you want to tune in, find a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. You might dim the lights, play soft background music, or wrap yourself in a comfortable blanket. These simple actions help your nervous system settle, making it easier to experience complex feelings. When you're ready, name your emotions with precision. Instead of saying you feel bad, get specific. Are you frustrated, disappointed, heartbroken, guilty? The more accurately you can identify your feelings, the better you'll understand their messages. And remember, you can feel multiple emotions at once: joy and grief, anger and love, fear and excitement often coexist. Support yourself through intense emotions by moving your body. A short walk, gentle stretching, or even dancing can help release emotional energy. Stay hydrated, eat nourishing foods, and get enough rest too. Your emotional resilience is directly connected to your physical well-being. When Asher felt overwhelmed by a mix of emotions after ending a long-term relationship, he tried to stay grounded by focusing on physical sensations he was feeling. Noticing his tight chest, churning stomach, they identified a blend of both relief and grief. Acknowledging these feelings without judgment helped him move through these complex emotions gradually. When Sophia experienced intense anxiety about a family conflict, she created a calming ritual. Each morning, she sat quietly with her coffee, noticed her body's signals, and named her feelings precisely. This practice helped her recognize when her worry was spiraling into panic, allowing her to take care breaks before becoming overwhelmed. Remember that working with emotions takes practice, so start small, perhaps with just 1 minute of body awareness each day. As you build this emotional toolbox, you'll develop greater confidence in navigating even the most challenging feelings. Transforming difficult emotions. Strong emotions often feel threatening, leading many people to shut down or push them away. Just acknowledging their presence can feel like a kind of failure, as if their mere existence is a sign you're doing something wrong. Yet these intense feelings, while uncomfortable, actually serve vital purposes in your emotional well-being. Even anger, shame, and fear carry important messages about your needs and boundaries. But first, it's crucial to distinguish between strong emotions and depression. While intense feelings naturally ebb and flow, depression tends to create a persistent emotional numbness or darkness that doesn't shift with circumstances. In other words, it isn't about feeling sad or unmotivated or ashamed, but about not feeling much at all. If you experience ongoing emotional flatness or hopelessness, seeking professional support can provide essential tools for healing. To tune into difficult emotions when they arise without feeling overwhelmed, approaching with curiosity instead of judgment can be transformational. When anger arises, for instance, pause to notice what boundaries might need protecting in that moment. When fear appears, consider what valuable thing it's trying to preserve. When shame surfaces, examine which of your core values feels challenged. The key lies in responding to strong emotions rather than reacting to them. Create a small pause when intense feelings arise. Take 3 deep breaths. Notice where emotion lives in your body. This space allows you to choose your response thoughtfully instead of being carried away by the feeling's intensity. Sometimes emotions amplify each other too, creating overwhelming combinations. Sadness about a friendship might trigger old fears of abandonment. Disappointment at work might awaken deeper shame about self-worth. Just acknowledge these layers without trying to untangle them immediately. Move through them slowly and give yourself time to unwind them. Consider how Helena handled intense jealousy when her partner spent time with friends. Instead of acting on the jealousy and blowing up her relationship, or suppressing it and suffering in silence, she explored its message. What she discovered was a deeper need for quality connection with her partner and more clear communication about expectations. When David felt persistent shame about a past mistake, he practiced self-compassion. Rather than trying to banish the feeling, he acknowledged it while reminding himself that all humans make mistakes. This gentle approach helped the shame gradually transform into wisdom about personal growth. Remember that reframing difficult emotions takes time and practice. Start with emotions that feel manageable, gradually building trust in your ability to handle more challenging feelings. As you develop this skill, even the most intense emotions become valuable guides rather than overwhelming forces. Building emotional intelligence. Developing emotional intelligence is like building any other skill. It requires regular practice and a supportive environment. The key lies in creating small, consistent moments throughout your day to check in with your emotions and respond mindfully to their messages. Start by establishing an emotional check-in routine. Set aside time each morning to notice how you're feeling, perhaps while drinking your morning beverage or during your daily commute. Pay attention to your body's signals, your energy level, and any emotions simmering beneath the surface. This practice builds awareness before the day's demands take over. Create both physical and mental space for processing emotions. Designate a quiet corner in your home for reflection. Take short breaks during busy days to breathe deeply and scan your body. These micro moments prevent emotional buildup and allow you to address feelings before they become overwhelming. Over time, you'll learn to recognize your emotional triggers and patterns by noticing which situations constantly spark strong reactions. Pay attention to how stress, hunger, or lack of sleep affects your emotional baseline. This awareness helps you respond proactively rather than reactively to challenging situations by giving you the best possible conditions to process in the moment. To see how this might work in practice, consider how Amara integrated emotional awareness into her daily routine. She started taking 5-minute breaks between meetings to ground herself and process any lingering emotions. When she noticed them building up anyway on particularly challenging days, she took a 15-minute walk. This simple practice helped her approach each interaction with a renewed presence and clarity. When Jason noticed his emotions becoming increasingly intense, he recognized the need for additional support. Working with a counselor helped him develop new tools for managing anxiety and understanding long-standing emotional patterns. Professional guidance can provide valuable perspectives and strategies when emotions feel particularly challenging. As your practice grows, build a supportive community for your emotional practice. Share your journey with trusted friends or family members. Join groups focused on emotional wellness. Having people who understand and encourage your growth can make the process feel less isolating. Remember that emotional skills develop gradually. Some days you'll feel more connected to your emotions than others. Progress isn't linear. Each experience, even the challenging ones, contributes to your emotional growth. Pay attention to small victories, like catching an emotion early or responding thoughtfully to a trigger. The next chapter tackles deepening your awareness of both internal emotional signals and external interactions. This refinement will help you navigate increasingly complex emotional situations with greater confidence and authenticity. What emotions say. Now that you have an emotional toolbox to find, feel, and move through strong emotions, it is important to recognize that each emotion speaks its own distinct language. All of them are carrying specific information about your needs, boundaries, and inner world, and by learning to decode these messages, you gain deeper insight into yourself and your relationships with others. Anger often signals violated boundaries or unmet needs. When you feel angry, pause to identify what feels unfair or threatening. The intensity of your anger usually matches the importance of the boundary being crossed. Notice whether the situation reminds you of past experiences where your needs went unmet. Fear points to things you value and want to protect. Rather than seeing it as a weakness, recognize fear as a guardian of what matters most to you. Sometimes fear highlights genuine threats, while other times it reveals areas where you need more support or preparation. In any case, feeling fear is a powerful signal to get your full attention. Sadness helps you process change and loss, creating space for new growth. When sadness arrives, it often signals the need to slow down and honor transitions. This emotion asks you to acknowledge what's ending while remaining open to what might emerge. It isn't an eternal state, so recognizing sadness means recognizing the need for change. Joy and excitement illuminate your path forward, showing you what energizes and fulfills you. Pay attention to moments of genuine happiness. They reveal the activities, relationships, and environments that support your well-being. And you can deepen your emotional vocabulary through regular journaling. Write about your feelings without editing or judging them, and notice subtle variations. Instead of just writing about being sad, you might take a moment to realize you feel disappointed, a bit wistful, with some melancholy on the side. Each shade of emotion carries unique information and might be tied to something you're experiencing or processing. Noticing the patterns over time can deepen the insight. To support your deepening emotional intelligence, build an emotional support network of friends who can listen without trying to fix your feelings. Share your emotional learning journey with trusted companions who are wondering about their own feelings. Consider joining groups focused on emotional awareness, where you can learn from others' experiences and insights. Remember that emotional messages become clearer with practice. It's okay to focus on one emotion at a time and build up slowly. Notice its physical sensations, the situations that trigger it, and the wisdom it might hold. As you develop trust in your emotional guidance system, you'll find yourself navigating life's challenges with increasing confidence and authenticity. The main takeaway of this blink to the Language of Emotions by Carla McLaren is that your emotions aren't enemies to be suppressed, but messengers carrying vital information, clarifying your needs, boundaries, and core values. By tuning into your body's signals and creating space for all feelings, even the uncomfortable ones, you can decode their unique languages and gain deeper self-understanding. Regular emotional awareness practice, supported by mindful routines and compassionate community, transforms challenging feelings from overwhelming forces into reliable guides. This journey from emotional resistance to emotional intelligence opens the door to more authentic relationships, clearer boundaries, and a more fulfilling life. Okay, that's it for this Blink. We hope you enjoyed it. If you can, please take the time to leave us a rating. We always appreciate your feedback. See you in the next Blink.